Alright, boys and girls, here is our massive squat day. As you can see, this squat didn't go as planned. I was taking my walk out and my right leg clipped the box, causing me to fall backward. I was able to catch it and hold it on my back and get my feet under me and still get the rep, but I do not recommend it to anybody. Please be more careful on your walkout than I was. Then we moved on to 5 singles at 365. Those moved insanely well. Then we moved on to our RDLs. We did the RDLs for 3x3. I'm not deadlifting just to manage the inflammation in my hips and knees from both squat and deadlift. But we moved on to this. We hit 295, 305, and 330 for our sets for the RDLs. All moved fairly well. All felt really good. But yeah, I don't recommend anyone do what I did on the squat. If you do fall like that, let go of the bar and always make sure you have safeties up. Massive squat PR for me, but still be careful. Alrighty, boys and girls, let's hop into this lower body recovery day. So we started out with 5 singles at 60% of our 1 rep max from the day prior. So we had to go with 245 on these. Slow, controlled, nothing too crazy. This is a really easy weight, just really focusing on the motion, driving the hips out, pushing the knees out, and keeping as much of a good form as possible. Nothing too heavy, nothing too crazy. Like I said, just focusing on the range of motion and executing to the best of our ability. Then we moved on to these cable pull-throughs that I did for 5 sets of 15. I love these to get some blood into the glutes and hamstrings. It's a really, really good exercise if you're not looking to deadlift or do glute bridges or hip thrusts. Obviously, you'll be able to load up a hip thrust a little bit more, so these are really good on our recovery days. Nothing too crazy. They feel amazing, though, and it's just honestly a great range of motion to go through. If you haven't done these before, I definitely recommend giving them a try. I usually do them with a rope, but all the ropes were taken. Then we moved on to our hip abductors and adductors. Obviously, you guys have seen me do these 1,000,001 times on here. I do these a lot. I try to do at least 2 to 3 sets of 20 per AB and adductor. Today, my hips are feeling a little bit messed up. To be expected after the insane 405 that happened. So I went with 3 sets of 25, really light, and really just trying to get as much blood into the muscle and the joint as possible. Alrighty, boys and girls, so our max effort upper body day started off with a single that I was not happy with. So we moved on to pin press, where we hit 5 singles, the first 2 at 225, then we moved to 240 for the final 3. And honestly, it moved pretty well. I got pretty happy with it afterward. Then we moved on to some weighted pull-ups or chin-ups. We did these for 3 or 4 sets of 6. This is the first time I've actually ever done a weighted chin-up, so I was actually pretty happy with how I was able to do. Then we moved on to weighted dips, also 4 sets of 6. Again, really happy with these. I haven't done these in a very long time. And it was honestly pretty fun to do these 2 movements and then these 2 upcoming movements here. So we did these lateral raises with some rest pause and some heavy partials at the end. This was our third set of 12, and then I added in on this third set the rest pauses, which you will see, and the heavy partials at the end, just to burn out the lats, or the lateral head of the delt or shoulder. Honestly, I got this from my buddy Jake, Young Giant Killer on TikTok and on Instagram, Pancakes and PRs, and I honestly loved it. Shoulders is one of my favorite things to train. Honestly, powerlifting hasn't been making me too happy, so you may start seeing some more bodybuilding content from me, but I'm not going to promise anything yet. After that, we moved on to this superset of 4 sets of 12 at these rope curls and tricep overhead extensions. And on this 4th set, I included, as you'll see, these 12 partials at the end of both the bicep and the tricep movement. Just getting some extra blood into the muscle, really forcing the peak contraction on both ends. This puts your tricep in a great position for the long head. Really stretching out the long head, boys and girls. So we started out with pull-ups and dips for 4 sets of 6, really to warm up. Then we moved on to the shoulder press for 3 sets of 7. And on the 3rd set, as you'll see, I did 7 partials to finish out the set. I absolutely love doing these heavy partials on the end of every movement. Feels great, get a lot of blood into the muscle. Then we moved on to these tempo rear delt flies, which are amazing. Doing 3 to 5 seconds on the way to the contraction, and then a 1 to 2 second pause at the top, and then a 3 to 5 second eccentric as well, is insane. I'm telling you right now, I think I did maybe 15 or 30 pounds, 15 to 20 pounds maybe. I don't even know, honestly. But I know I was going light, and I know that by the end of this 3rd set, I was dying. Trust me, time under tension is one of the biggest utilized tools for a reason. Then we moved on to the seal rows, which I got this variation and that rear delt variation from Jake, aka Young Giant Killer, or Pancakes and PRs on Instagram. And so I started out with single arm here. I did each side for about 12 reps for 3 sets. And then we moved on this 3rd set to pulling with both hands and going for 10 to 12 as well, just trying to burn out a little bit more. But honestly, this was a great movement. I loved it. And now there's multiple different variations you can do with this. You can do it with dumbbells on a bench. You can do it with cables on a bench, chest supported row machine, anything like that. But you need to find the variation that works the best for you. And honestly, I don't know if this one does. I'm going to try it with a bench next week and see how I feel. And so I did this, but I'm telling you right now, find a variation that works the best for you, that you get the most contraction, that you feel the best with, and stick with it. Don't try to change everything every couple weeks or something like that. You don't have to. If it works for you, it works for you. Don't change something if it isn't broken, in my opinion. Then we moved on to this cable rope hammer curl and tricep push down superset. And as you'll see on this 4th set, I tried my best to get to 12 reps, but if I couldn't, I moved on to the partials and did 10 to 12 partials of the peak contraction as well. Absolutely love. Can't talk today. I've loved doing that at the end of each set, on the 3rd or 4th set of the exercise, on a couple movements throughout the day. The partials just feel great. And then here's some pictures from the day. Alrighty, boys and girls, we started out today with our first major warm-up at about 3:35 here. Absolutely blew this up. Then our second major warm-up, or final warm-up, was at 380. Now, this felt a little heavy on the back, but nothing too crazy. I was really focused on the walkout based on what happened on Monday. And honestly, blew this up too. Nothing too crazy. And then the big boy. 415, a 10-pound PR. I told you that I had more in me if I did not fall. 415 at a body weight of 147 on the box squat. It's a 2.83 times body weight box squat. And it moved. A little bit scary on the the re-rack there, but that's why we have friends around. Then we moved on to deadlifts. Nothing too crazy. 66% for 4 singles. Took 2 singles conventional, 2 singles sumo. Nothing too crazy. It was pretty easy, light work today. Then we moved on to RDLs. Did these for 3 sets of 6 at 185. Didn't go super slow. Was pretty explosive with these. But on the way down, I really felt the stretch.
Alrighty, boys and girls, so we started out with our pin press. We hit a 250 pin press, which is a bodyweight PR. Then we moved on to a 3x6, hitting 185, 195, and 205, which is what's shown here. All in all, these moved really well. I was really happy with it. Then we moved on to our accessories. We hit this incline dumbbell press for 3 sets of 6 with the 70s. Make sure you're really tucking your shoulders down and back with these. This is that movement can be very unstable if not. Then we moved on to chest flies, did 4 sets of 8 to 12, and then you'll see I did some partials at the end when I felt like I couldn't get any more full reps. Then we moved on to chest press, which I put into more of a decline position by standing up a little bit into it. We also did this for 4 sets of 10 to 12. Then I moved on to seal rows. Did these for, I want to say, 3 sets of 8 to 10 with a iso at the top, pausing, really holding the contraction. Absolutely love this movement. Then we moved on to lat pull downs with a pause at the bottom and a slow eccentric for 8. Then we lowered the weight and did 8 more. Same way, pause at the bottom, long eccentric. If you haven't tried lat pull downs like this before, definitely recommend it. This blew up my back.